All right, so I was listening to Cornett last week, and I seen you on the thumbnail. And I was like, "What? Gangrel was?"
A few people sent it to me, but I didn't listen to it. But but you told me what it was about before we started. So.
Yeah.
But go ahead, explain it.
All right, so there was a lot of confusion. There was a question asked or sent in about an incident. They said that you quoted and said that your career was cut short and your opportunity.
My career was not cut short because of that. But go ahead.
And then that you missed an opportunity with winning the European title because you were caught up in some sort of backstage incident.
All right, yeah. So I was doing a podcast with somebody that CCW asked me to do it for. I forget the name of the guy, but I was super late to it. Like I wasn't late. I was there on time to do it. But I mean, I rolled in. Usually I sit down a half hour. I'm chilled. I have coffee and prepare. I ran into the rest of school and they were just talking about some stuff. So I said something, but it was like half. Like I don't think it was explained all the way because I kind of cut myself out of it and go, what? Why am I even putting that shit out there? Why am I even gonna say that kind of stuff? Because it'll just get like with those. Whenever I do a podcast, which I don't like to do other people's stuff.
Yeah.
You know that. Like I don't like to do it because then stuff ends up out there and clickbaited and twisted and then you never hear the end of it. It just makes you nauseous to your stomach. Makes you just sick. But since being you're asking, I'll try to remember it to the best of my ability. And it wasn't just a random guy. It was a guy working in pyro or some type of thing like that backstage. But he wasn't a regular guy. But I don't know why he did it or if he was put up by higher powers to do it or whatnot. But he had a tape recorder under a table, and he was offering to sell people different types of steroids backstage. Now, I wasn't the only one, and I can tell you, I'm not going to bust out other people's names, but if you look at the attitude there, ain't nobody wasn't in shape. Everybody was like beefed up and lifted. Everybody was looking good. But so when this guy came to me, I was with Luna, and I just played it off. I was like, well, I just came back from a shoulder injury. I said, oh, well, Deco helped my shoulder heal or whatever. But I absolutely did not pick anything up from him. I just didn't. I didn't trust him, and I didn't know what was up with it. But I don't know how, if it was whatever later, but it was the before the pay-per-view for where I did the Royal Rumble and I wrestled X-Pac for the European Championship. That was before that. Had to go to a meeting, and then there was some higher uppers coming out pissed off, like wrestlers, and shaking their head and stuff. So I had a pretty good idea that they were in there, but I was in a room with like I was in a room with like 6 or 7 other peers, like other wrestlers in a room. And it's a true story where Vince McMahon was in there going, I'm not throwing stones in glass houses. Apparently somebody has taped you all, and they said you bought steroids and blah, 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 blah. Now, you can take a test and prove that it's bullshit or whatever, and we can put it all to an end, or you could take the alternative. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, like, why the hell am I in here? I didn't buy anything. I didn't offer to buy it. I certainly didn't buy it. I didn't trust the whole situation. But what I was thinking, on top of that, when it came to the testing, I was like, oh, shit, man, I was just doing cocaine and ecstasy the night before. And I was like going, I don't want to, if I give them my blood or whatever, or my pee, how's that work? I don't even know. I was thinking, am I going to open a can of worms? Am I going to get in trouble for all this other stuff? Because I used to run wild. I was a bit of a wild child. And, but I was innocent of that other shit. And I was like, man, this is a bitch, man. Like, this is a motherfucker, man. I was like, what do I do? Luna was in the room, too. Luna was in the room, and I'm not going to say, the dude next to me, I want to say who it was, but I'm not going to say, but he was pissed. Because this dude was going, you trying to tell me to rock Stone Cold in on steroids and blah, 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 and all this shit. Like, they were going off, man. They were going off. And I'm like, just sitting there like, I'm listening to him get mad, and I was with this guy the night before. I was with him the night before, and I'm thinking like, shit, I don't know if he's thinking what I'm thinking, because I don't know if he had got any either. I don't know. I wasn't, when the guy talked to me with the videotape or the tape recorder thing, apparently I think it was taped under a table or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then I can't remember who it was. It was like some dude working backstage, like a crew. He's part of a crew, but like he wasn't like, for whatever reason, I just don't even remember who it was. Probably because of what I was doing the night before. I did a lot of that stuff, and a lot of chair shots. But where was I? So they're getting really mad. The person next to me is getting really mad, calling out some shit. And then I just thought, like, I don't know, man. I'm going to take a chance. Like, I know I'm innocent, but I'm going to say I'll take the alternative. I raised my hand. They looked at me and he said, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, I was with you last night. I ain't trying to get my shit up." Like, and then Vince just said, "All right." I think he said $5,000. You're fined $5,000. That was it. And then, to be honest, they never took it from me because, like, if they listened to the tape and everything, they knew that I didn't buy anything from this guy. I just didn't want to give up my blood or urine or whatever for fear they'll find out the stuff I did do the night before. So, and then all of a sudden when they heard it was $5,000, the hands started going up like, I'll take that alternative. I'll take that alternative because, you know, you're going to make more wrestling. You'll lose more if you get suspended and you fail that test. And then you open the can of worms, like whether it was for steroids or whatever it was. So, true story. Fucking true story. 100% true story. And I would name the guys in that room. And if you think really hard, probably half the attitude era was kind of like in and out of that room that day. But definitely 100% true. I raised my hand, and I was innocent on that one. And I'm told you why I didn't take the test because of what I did do the night before. I'll own up to that now. I probably would have denied it back then. But when I came out of there, apparently, now this was told to us, but it could have been a rib. Could have been a rib. It could have been somebody just effing with us. But it was told to Luna. She was supposed to get the belt. I think it was Sable might have had it that day. Or I don't know who was the women's champion. And I was supposed to win the European title. And it was all switched because, you know, disciplinary things from that, you know, being there. So whether that was just bullshit to fuck with your heads in WWE fashion, you know, I don't know. But that's what I was told, and that's the damn truth to it. And I won't probably do another podcast with people after stuff like that because it just gets twisted and mangled and watered down to whatever way, and people they'll probably clickbait the shit out of this, like Gangrel does cocaine and ecstasy. Like, who knows, you know? No, you don't have to.
I always do. I never leave it in.
Yeah,
but because the world we live, I always do.
Yeah, but you almost have to say it to explain it, you know. Like you might have to leave it in. I don't care. I mean, that's my past, man. That's where I am today. That's why I'm a better person today for it. Leave that shit in there. Don't take it out. All right. I mean, fuck this world today. It is what it is. I am who I am, and I did what I did, and I own up to it, and I'm gonna own up to everything I do right from here on to the day I die. And I'm a better person. I had my demons, and that's it. You know, I ran hard, and but I was innocent of that. That's how that shit went down, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it because it's the damn truth. So I was so tired. I knew when I said that I did that interview, I went because I just rambled it kind of half-assed, and I cut myself off going, why am I trying to even explain this to something? And then I go, they're gonna butcher this up, and I'm gonna. Now I got to sit right here and explain it because now you brung it up to me out of all people. Right? And I forgot about it too till you said something just now about it. Like I forgot all about it because I like going, go figure. I figured that much. I go, I was Jim Cornett wasn't burying me because he's probably as confused as it sounded. That sounded confusing in that question. Like, what the fuck is that talking about?
The last thing you leave out there, people are just going to run with the last thing they heard. So it sucks that you sometimes have to.
Yeah, but there was a lot of wrestlers, man. And I'm pretty sure, I can't say that the guys coming out of that office ahead of us, they were really upset and pissed and fired up. Words like, this is bullshit, some bitch, and you know. I don't know. People coming out of there, and then we all went in a group. They were like a little bit higher level than us, and then our group went in as a group. And I don't know who in our group bought or did what, but they obviously were all on tape or something. For some reason, they were in that room. I didn't. But yet I was still in that room, so I knowing that I didn't makes me think maybe some of them didn't. I don't know, but I chose to take the test because of the partying I was doing the night before we were called in that room. Like, you know, the lifestyle, rock and roll, everything all the time, life in the fast lane, baby. You know what I mean? Want some, get some, bad enough, take some. I was taking it all. I was getting it on, man. I was rocking and rolling, fanging and banging. I was like clanging and hanging. I was doing everything, but. And I don't regret it. It's just who I was. It's who maybe took me on my journey where I am, and I'm still on a journey. And and you know, I'm looking to do a lot better things with my life. You know, have a better life. So that's it, man.
All right. Well, that's a perfect way to end the show.
Yeah, you some bitches like. Come on, man. Come on. When something's on me, it's on me. Like I ain't gonna make shit up either. Like, and I think Jim Cornett should know that or anybody else because he probably seemed confused. He didn't think so. He just didn't even know what to say. Like what? Because who would be back there doing that? But truly was a dude brought us in another room. They said, hey, we talked. He was trying to move like things. He was recording people and setting people up. True story. And it was just prior to that pay-per-view, it was the Royal Rumble, and it's the one I wrestled X-Pac at for the European title.